What if the future isn't a distant dream, but a story unfolding right now, with clues hidden in the words of ancient seers? Imagine a world teetering on the edge, where conflicts flare, skies burn, and humanity faces choices that could redefine our existence. The predictions of Nostradamus and Baba Vanga, two of history's most enigmatic visionaries, have long captivated us with their cryptic glimpses into what lies ahead. Their words, often cloaked in mystery, seem to whisper warnings about 2025, a year that could hold both peril and promise. But what do these prophecies really mean for us today? Let's dive into a tale of foresight, danger, and hope, weaving together the threads of their visions to uncover what might await. Before we unravel this story, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring these fascinating tales to more curious minds. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt a prediction resonate with your life? Stick around until the end, because this journey might just leave you questioning what you thought you knew. The seers and their legacy. Our story begins centuries apart, in the cobblestone streets of 16th century France and the quiet villages of 20th century Bulgaria. Nostradamus, a French apothecary turned prophet, penned his cryptic quatrains, claiming to see centuries into the future. His verses, filled with vivid imagery, have been debated for generations, with some swearing they predicted everything from wars to natural disasters. Across time, Baba Vanga, the blind Bulgarian mystic, spoke of visions that chilled and inspired. Known as the Balkan Nostradamus, she foresaw events with uncanny precision, from political upheavals to cosmic encounters. Both left behind legacies that feel eerily alive today, as their words seem to align with the chaos and wonder of our modern world. Why do their predictions matter? Because 2025, according to both seers, could be a turning point. Their visions paint a world at a crossroads, where humanity's choices could lead to ruin or redemption. Let's step into their prophecies, not as distant myths, but as a narrative unfolding around us, with stakes that feel all too real. A world on the brink. Picture Europe in 2025, a continent scarred by conflict. Baba Vanga's voice echoes from the past, warning of a great war that could decimate populations. She spoke of a struggle so fierce it might threaten humanity's survival. As I write this, the war between Russia and Ukraine grinds on, its shadow lengthening over the continent. Could this be the spark Vanga saw? Nostradamus, too, foresaw flames of war spreading across Europe, with a powerful nation, perhaps Russia, playing a pivotal role. His quatrains describe rivers red with blood, a chilling image that feels less like poetry and more like a headline waiting to break. But the story doesn't stop at war. Both seers warned of a new plague, a disease emerging in 2025 that could rival the pandemics of our past. Imagine a world already battered by conflict, now grappling with an invisible enemy. Vanga described it as a shadow spreading swiftly, while Nostradamus hinted at pestilence born in the east. After living through COVID-19, the idea of another global health crisis feels like a wound reopened. Yet, their warnings aren't just about fear. They're a call to prepare, to learn from our past, and to act before it's too late. Visitors from the stars now. Let's shift the scene to something stranger, something that feels like it belongs in a sci-fi novel. Baba Vanga's predictions for 2025 include a moment that could rewrite everything we know: contact with extraterrestrial beings. Not the subtle, shadowy encounters of UFO lore, but a bold, undeniable arrival. She described lights in the sky and voices from beyond, suggesting these visitors would bring knowledge far beyond our own. Imagine the world pausing, scientists, leaders, and everyday people staring upward, grappling with the reality that we're not alone. Nostradamus, too, hinted at cosmic events, writing of a celestial fire on another planet. Some scholars tie this to Mars, where Elon Musk, SpaceX, and NASA are racing to establish human presence. Could this fire be a metaphor for a breakthrough, or a warning of something more dangerous? The idea of alien contact in 2025 feels like a plot twist in humanity's story. Would it unite us, forcing us to rethink our divisions? Or would it deepen our fears as we confront beings whose intentions we can't predict? Vanga believed these visitors could guide us, offering wisdom to avert our own destruction. It's a glimmer of hope in a tale filled with shadows. Power and peril in Russia, the narrative takes a darker turn as we focus on Russia. Baba Vanga's visions for 2025 include a shocking claim. Vladimir Putin, Russia's long-standing leader, could meet his end at the hands of someone within his inner circle. She spoke of betrayal, a desperate act tied to the ongoing wars. Picture a tense Kremlin, where loyalty frays and ambition simmers. Vanga'S prophecy suggests this act wouldn't bring peace, but chaos, as Russia's instability ripples across the globe. Nostradamus adds another layer, describing a red adversary that alarms the world. For decades, Russia's Soviet past earned it the red moniker, but some argue China, with its rising power and red flag, could fit the bill. Both nations loom large in 2025's story, their actions shaping conflicts and alliances. If Putin's fall triggers a power vacuum, or if China's ambitions clash with the West, the world could spiral into a new kind of Cold War, or worse. This chapter of the story feels like a chess game, with every move carrying the weight of history. The biological threat, as if wars and betrayals weren't enough. Vanga'S visions include a threat that feels ripped from a dystopian thriller, a nation unleashing a biological weapon in 2025. She didn't name the culprit or the target, leaving us to imagine a world where trust between nations collapses. Picture headlines screaming of a mysterious outbreak, governments pointing fingers, and panic spreading faster than the disease itself. Nostradamus echoed this fear, writing of poisons hidden in the air, a phrase that chills in its ambiguity. This part of the story forces us to confront our vulnerabilities. After COVID-19, we know how quickly a biological threat can upend lives. If a weaponized disease emerges, the fallout could dwarf our past struggles, turning neighbors into enemies as fear takes hold. Yet, this prophecy also challenges us to act, to strengthen global cooperation, to invest in science, to rebuild trust before it's too late. The Red Giant and the New World across the Atlantic, the story shifts to the United States, where Nostradamus' predictions take on a political hue. He wrote of a great giant facing economic turmoil in 2025, led by a controversial voice. Many interpret this as the U.S. under Donald Trump, whose return to power has sparked fierce debate. Nostradamus' quatrains describe a leader who divides yet transforms, facing threats from rivals abroad. The parallels to Trump's polarizing style and the U.S.'s global role are hard to ignore. But there's a twist. Vanga predicted communism would resurface as a global force by 2076, with roots possibly taking hold in 2025. Could economic struggles in the West, coupled with China's rise, fuel this shift? Imagine a world where ideologies clash anew, where the U.S. grapples with its identity, and where a single leader's choices could tip the balance. This chapter feels like a mirror, reflecting our own divisions and daring us to find common ground. The Martian mystery back in the cosmos, Nostradamus' celestial fire on Mars stirs intrigue. Elon Musk's plans to colonize the red planet are no secret, with 2025 marking a key year for SpaceX's ambitions. But what if this fire isn't a rocket launch, but a catastrophe, a failed mission, a cosmic event, or even a discovery that changes everything? Vanga'S silence on Mars leaves us with Nostradamus' cryptic words, which some tie to a darkening of Mars's light. Picture astronauts on the red planet, staring at a sky that suddenly shifts, signaling a truth we're not ready for. This part of the story blends science and mystery, reminding us how small we are in the universe's vastness. Mars could be a new frontier or a warning, a place where humanity's dreams meet the unknown. As we watch Musk's rockets soar, we're left wondering, what does Nostradamus' fire mean, and will we understand it in time? A monarchy's end in England, the tale takes a regal turn. Nostradamus foresaw the king of the islands being ousted in 2025, replaced by one without royal blood. With King Charles III on the throne after Queen Elizabeth II's historic reign, this prediction feels personal. Scholars suggest Charles's rule could end abruptly, perhaps due to health or public discontent. Imagine London buzzing with debate as the monarchy, a symbol of tradition, faces its twilight. Vanga'S visions align, hinting at a new order in the West. This could mean more than a throne changing hands. It might signal a broader shift, where old institutions give way to new ideas. For a nation steeped in history, this chapter feels like a farewell to one era and the uncertain dawn of another. Nature's wrath and humanity's hunger, the story grows grimmer as Nostradamus turns to nature. He predicted 2025 would bring devastating natural disasters, floods, fires, and storms that dwarf our current climate woes. Vanga'S echoed this, warning of Earth's anger unleashed. Picture coastal cities submerged, forests ablaze, and communities struggling to rebuild. These aren't just predictions. They're a reflection of the climate crisis we're already living. But the seer's darkest vision is of hunger. Nostradamus wrote of wheat prices soaring so high that man would eat his neighbor. Not literal cannibalism, but a metaphor for desperation. Empty stores, looted markets, and neighbors turning on each other in a fight for survival. Vanga'S saw fields barren and rivers dry, painting a world where scarcity frays society's bonds. This chapter is a gut punch, urging us to act on climate change and food security before the story becomes reality. The sky falls finally. We look upward, where Nostradamus's most apocalyptic vision looms, a fiery spectacle in the sky, interpreted as an asteroid strike. In late 2024, astronomers tracked a small asteroid that orbited Earth briefly before moving on. Was that the event Nostradamus saw, or is a greater threat coming? Picture a streak of light, a deafening roar, and a wave of destruction. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and a world forever changed. Vanga'S silence on asteroids doesn't lessen the fear. Scientists warn that a significant strike is possible, and the rise in bunker construction across Europe shows people are listening. This final chapter feels like a climax, where humanity faces a force beyond our control. Yet, it's also a call to unite, to invest in planetary defense, to value our fragile home, and to write a different ending. Writing our own story as we close this tale, the predictions of Nostradamus and Baba Vanga feel less like destiny and more like a mirror. They show us a world of conflict, discovery, and survival, a world where we're the authors. Will 2025 bring war, aliens, or asteroids? Maybe, but it could also bring resilience, innovation, and hope. Their visions aren't set in stone. They're warnings and possibilities, urging us to shape the future with wisdom and courage. What's your role in this story? Will you prepare for the challenges, embrace the unknown, or fight for a better world? The answers lie in our choices, starting now. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.
I invite you to enjoy and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit too. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and experiences. Thank you for watching and joining us on this journey. We'll see you in the next video. Blessings.